Good morning, Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And as I shared the last couple of days, I was invited to speak at a real estate investing conference. I was given 20 minutes to share our story of one rental at a time. Our story normally is kind of 45 minutes, and I've done it as long as 3 hours. So to see that we had 20 minutes, that was a challenge. So what I'm going to share with you right here is my slide deck. It's kind of three beefy slides. And yeah, let me know what you think. Again, this was intended to be 20 minutes of content. So let me share it with you. And again, the title was picked for me by the operator. We have had our portfolio at one time was over 200 units. It's now, I think it's 181, maybe 182 now. But anyways, this was a title chosen for me. So first, my first slide was basically, I was meant to be 5 to 7 minutes. I wanted it to be, who am I, right? Because I want the people watching this to realize who is speaking to them, because that is, if you understand where the speaker is coming from, you can understand their motivation perhaps. So again, I let everybody know that I came into real estate investing scarred, burdened, beat down, depressed. I had turned a little bit of money into a lot, only to lose a lot. And that's where I limp into a bookstore. I find that purple book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it kind of sets me on a new path. I also let everyone know that a lot of the books I read 2 decades ago said, invest in your backyard, invest 30 minutes from home. We did that for 52 weeks in a row every Sunday, and it was a failure, miserable failure. It was a complete waste of time. I spent a year and probably should have spent 4 or 5 months. But yes, that was a mistake. I wanted everybody to realize we started with 40 grand. Our journey to financial freedom, our journey to a lot of units starts with $40,000. $40,000 without question is more than some. It's a lot less than many, but this is what we had. And then the last thing I want to point out here is our 40 grand was all gone in our first 3 purchases. $20,000 goes to Norris Drive. I've talked about it a lot. It's written in the book. $10,000 to the next one and $10,000 to the next one. All gone. So we'll talk about that. After those first 3, we start recycling capital. As I wrote the first book, One Rental at a Time, it did not strike me to really highlight how important recycling capital was. We go from 3 units to 8, 100% because of recycled capital. At the time, they were called cash out refis. We cash out refi Norris Drive. We take too much. It's what I call an alligator property. It's the only picture in our first book. However, that gets us 2 properties. Then we do a cash out refi in property 2, and that gets us another one. And then we do cash out refi in the next one, and that gets us another one. And we end up that phase near the top of the market in 2005 and 6 with 8 units. I think it was 6 houses and a duplex. Then we're stuck. We can't buy number 9. We can't buy number 9. And we're struggling. And that leads us to a 1031 exchange where we start selling houses. We sell Norris Drive or exchange Norris Drive. And we go from 8 to 80 units. Again, recycled capital, no new capital. We're using our savings and whatnot to do repairs and things of that nature. But yeah, we go from 8 to 80 in about 18 months. Banks start telling us no, right? Like a lot of you, banks can say yes and banks can say no. We find hard money, which for us was very expensive. It was 12%, 3 points, 60% of purchase price. It was better than paying cash, but not by much. And then because we've always been open to what we're doing, we start to attract private money, and we lead to borrowing millions of dollars from our network to keep buying during the crash. I think it's important to say, because a lot of people on social media don't do this justice. We have never joint ventured. We have never done, nor do we ever expect to do, a syndication. And we had no partners. It was just us slogging away one rental at a time. One rental at a time was written on purpose. That's the title, on purpose, because that's what we did, just one at a time. Kind of slide number 2 are our lessons learned. Again, remember, I'm trying to get this done in 20 minutes. We wanted to buy and hold forever. When we jumped in, we had those 8 houses. Our intention was to buy and hold forever. But as we figure out, sometimes the market goes bananas, and we will now sell when we think stuff is overpriced. We look at our market every day, and sometimes markets just get ahead of themselves, and thus we will sell what's expensive. We came to a real estate meetup like the one I'm speaking at now back in 2005, and Bruce Norris was writing The California Crash. Bruce was saying, get out, sell. He tells a story about speaking to the builders, California builders, and they laughed him off the stage. They brought him back next year and said, we are sorry, you were right. Bruce Norris talked about the California crash. I paid attention. I'm like, damn, this guy's been doing this a while. He's data, he's analytical. I'm a fan. So I studied the affordability index. Every state has one. The California one, which is where I am, is at CAR.org. It's California Association of Realtors. It goes back decades. So what did I do? I went and looked at the affordability index for Fresno, California, which is the market we invest in, and realized that we were unaffordable. It was too expensive. So thanks to Bruce Norris, we started exchanging houses, and we went from 8 to 80. Bruce Norris, if you ever see this, thank you. We stayed in one market. Lots of people talk about going out of state. They talk about Texas. They talk about Indiana, Alabama. And I will admit to toying with this idea. We flew to Texas. I think everybody goes to Texas once. We looked at other markets, but for me, it was boots on the ground, right? For me, frankly, Fresno might as well have been out of state. It's 2.5 hours one way. You can get a lot of places in 2.5 hours, and then 2.5 hours back. It's a 5-hour day before we see one property. But the building the team, the boots on the ground. And if you watch my channel, you know we just released out-of-state investing. Millennial Mike did that for us in our course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, and he hits this hard, which I was very good to see. You got to build boots on the ground. It's got to be, they got to be rock solid. And again, we fired the first 5. And I couldn't imagine firing property managers and teams from states away. It would, for me, it was a non-starter. Another thing that's important is we never stop looking, right? I don't believe in timing the market. We bought the whole way up, and we bought the whole way down, and we bought the whole way up. I don't know. Dion from Dion Talk talks about it being always a great day to buy a great deal. I believe that. I didn't know it at the time, but I never stopped looking. And anytime I found a great deal, we did the deal. I want cash flow day one. I want my money working hard, and I'm not afraid to refi it later if you know it goes up in value or the interest rates fall or whatever it is. We're still looking. We're still growing. We closed a duplex earlier this year, and actually we're even going to be building an ADU because it just makes more economic sense right now. So we're still growing. We're not done. Real estate investing, I think this might be the next thing. Oh, no. I was going to say real estate investing is a skill, so everybody can do it. We'll talk about that on the next slide. But it's definitely a people business. Don't make the mistake I did. I lived behind my computer for the first couple of years. Don't do that. It's a people business. Get out, network, text, phone call, real estate meetups like this. Congratulations. Facebook groups, network. Get around people that are positive and doing the work. So my last real beefy slide, I just want to remember, people never forget. Real estate investing, you're going to have some bad days. It's not all sunshine, unicorns. Bad things happen. We have had insurance claims. We have had people lie to us. We have had people steal from us. We have had all kinds of bad things happen. In fact, We have had a couple of stories we talk about. We talk about Norris Drive in the book. Our first tenants screwed us. I talked about the Hammer story where we did everything right and we still lost. Just stuff happens. I think I've had 4 insurance claims, 3 fires and a flood. It happens. Bad things happen. And this is over a course of 20 years. I want to be very clear, right? There's a lot of great things with real estate investing. Some of them produce income or chunk money. That's income. That's a job. Buy and hold is how you build wealth. Buy and hold is how you build wealth. An often misunderstood and underappreciated part of our journey is Olivia and I got our money right in the very beginning. I'm an open book. We were spending everything we made when we were 30. We had to get our money right. We had to start living on less needs and wants. You know, The Millionaire Next Door is a book I read a lot in the beginning. This is not about canceling your $5 latte habit. Something I've now learned from folks like Todd Baldwin from CNBC Millionaire and Dion and Matt, the lumberjack landlord, is if you can house hack, if that's an option you could do, whether it's roommates like Todd or house hack a duplex like Dion, you can live for less. Are you willing perhaps to step back or even to step into a house hack as your first property? If you can take care of housing, auto, and food a month, if you can reduce those are the big 3. It's not about a $5 latte. You go after the big ones. And some of us, have we ever thought about downsizing? I challenge you to do the math, right? Do the math. Again, maybe you're 44 years old, you got 2 kids, you live in a nice house. Just do the math. Pretend you were going to sell it. Understand how much money you would get. Remember, if it's your owner occupied, you can get up to 500 grand tax free if married, 250 if single. And then do yourself a favor. Go look at what a 4-plex costs in your area. And if you can get a 4-plex, you could probably live for free or at least live on less. Again, most people won't do it, but challenge yourself. Do the math. See what would happen. Recycle capital as time goes by. This again was talked about on slide 1 for me. It's how we went from 3 to 8 with cash out refi. It's once again what we did from 8 to 80. What's not here is we also did a lot of BRRRR projects. We were doing BRRRR during the crash. We were borrowing money and then we were refining out with private money. This is just a way to just keep the capital flowing, right? Keep recycling capital, keep moving forward. Again, I said this on slide 2. It is here. Real estate investing is a skill. Because it's a skill, it can be learned. Everybody can learn this skill. You may be good at it at different degrees, but because I believe real estate investing is a skill, everyone can do it. Most of you need to get more focused and have daily discipline, which as I talk about in my course, it's how it all starts. It starts with that. Then it's about getting around a network of other positive individuals. It's growing your own network in your market. Most new investors are not focused. They're all over the place. And most don't have daily discipline. That's a recipe for struggling. Real estate investing is a skill. My best analogy is a golf swing. I picked up a golf club at 20 and almost hurt myself. But after a while on the driving range, just day after day after day, I kind of figured it out. Then I got coaching. And then I can go play golf and not embarrass myself. Same thing. Focus, buy box, daily discipline. 60, 90 days later, you get it and you're off to the races. Again, the way to build real estate investing skill is focus and daily discipline. That's all I got for you. It's very important. 2 quick closing slides. One Rental at a Time was a book I wrote for myself. At least that's how it started. I wanted to go back and revisit everything we did over 15 years from the very beginning. It's got over 1,000 reviews now on Amazon and Audible. It is something I'm very proud of. And it is only our story. If you want to know our story of going 1 to financial freedom, this is it. This is what you should read. This is what you reread. This is what you remind. This is not a how-to book. Not a how-to book. It's just our story of investing in a crazy market the ups and downs, the mistakes, and I hope you enjoy it. Something that just came out yesterday, which I am super proud of, is a book for you. This book was inspired by Gary Keller's book, Real Estate Millionaire, and his appendix where he highlighted investors. That's what this book is. It's 15 unique conversations with different investors, different walks of life. I wrote this because I'm hoping you find someone or several someones that you can go back and read and reread and just hold on tight as you go through this journey of real estate investing. You're full-time, part-time, young, old, single, married, Burr, out of state, Dave Ramsey, doesn't matter. It is in here. This is a book I wrote for you. This is the book that all real estate investors should get, because hopefully it is one you go back to and you hold on and you just keep going. So in the end, that's my story. I want you to know that one rental at a time works. That is something I have proven. We now have thousands of students doing it all the time. If you want, you can email me here. I left this here for the real estate conference. It is mzuber@onerental@a-time. So folks, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. It was intended to be 20 minutes. It's really hard to tell our story in 20 minutes. Hopefully I did it justice. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you're going to go out and buy this book. I appreciate it. And again, I wrote it for you. So I love to see what you think. Take care.